Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning. Good to have you in company on this Monday, March 11th. Thanks for joining us for another Morning Barbados presentation. We are coming to you live from the Standard Showroom in Wildey. I most certainly hope you had a wonderful weekend. You got everything in. And if you didn't, there's another weekend coming. But for right now, you have to take on what's happening all this week. And I don't know about you, but I can hardly believe it's already March. We were just celebrating the first of the year and talking about 2024 and resolutions, and here we are, 3 months, almost 3 months into the year. Interesting stuff. All right, today we have a lot of interesting things to share with you, and I'm hoping you can stick around. I know that most of you will have to make your way for that daily commute to school, to work, or if you're at home, that's just fine. For those watching outside of the island, always good to have you in company as well. So today, the QEH Clinical Risk Management Unit will be here talking about Patient Safety Awareness Week that's coming up. For that, we have the Most Honorable Dr. Corey Ford, the Director of Clinical and Diagnostic Services, joining us, and Sandra Beckles-Hackett, who is the Manager of Clinical Risk Management at the QEH. Of course, that observance started yesterday, and it runs through the 15th of the month. So we most certainly look forward to sitting down with them and talking about that. Also, the National Disabilities Unit will be in. John Hollingsworth, Kim Archer, and Dr. Dawn Grosner are going to be here. We're looking at the National Disabilities Unit Health Fair that is coming up this Wednesday at the grounds in Colomar Rock. We want to delve into exactly what you can expect and why you need to be a part of that. The Barbados Down Syndrome Association 2024 has been growing in popularity, the entire movement popularity, and we're hoping that we can bring some attention to that in 2024 to make it even bigger than it is. But I don't just want you to rock your socks. I want you to be able to talk about what you've been able to do to help the cause and move the cause forward. And I want to do the same. So we'll be sitting down with Asha Aline Renwick, who is president of the Barbados Down Syndrome Association, to share more about that initiative for this year. Plus, we're looking at the Bright Sparks reading program. And this, of course, is on the cusp of hearing that the Ministry of Education is thinking of revamping the way we look at teaching children to read. So very interesting segment coming up with Brandon Dowell of the Bright Sparks Primary School as we look at and kind of dissect how we've been teaching our children and what we need to be able to do to switch up how they're learning, particularly those ones that are having challenges in reading and a host of other areas. But we're going to start this morning in speaking with Dr. Connell. And Dr. Connell is no stranger to Morning Barbados. It's always good to have him on set, if only because Dr. Connell is usually, you know, a bright spark in the morning if we're talking about bright sparks. So good morning and welcome, Dr.
Good morning,
Connell.
Tisha. I didn't get the orange memo, but I am rocking my socks.
I knew you would say something about that. There's a pop of color today. We felt the need to include a little bit of color.
It looks great. I like the
So
studio.
we did. Thank you so much. I hope you had a good weekend.
I had a fantastic weekend.
All right. And of course, you are going to be a feature speaker coming up. We talked about it late last week. And we want to get into a little bit more of what's coming up with the Dean's Lecture that is going to be at St. Michael's Cathedral. Tell us more.
Right. So usually when people hear the word dean, they associate it with the university, but this is St. Michael's Cathedral's annual Dean's Lecture, St. Michael's Cathedral Faith and Action Group. And this year, the topic is going to be centering on spirituality and health. And the title of the lecture is going to be, this year I coined as The Body of Christ, Spirituality, Health, and Wellness. And let me just say, teacher, this has been one of the most difficult lectures for me to prepare. Although I do many lectures, this lecture took me out of a safe zone and into, I don't want to say a spiritual realm, but it caused me to reflect on my own spirituality and spiritual journey, dissect it, and then use that to kind of offer suggestions to how spirituality can be influencing as it relates to health-seeking behavior.
Why do you think it took you to that place, outside of the obvious? I mean, the topic is going in that direction, but usually for those of us who have grown up here in Barbados, spirituality is usually even a part of everyday talk, everyday speaking, a part of words of endearment.
Right.
Perhaps, especially from older Barbadians, you would hear, people say on a daily basis, I'm doing well with God's help or in God's name, and things of that nature. So I don't think we're ever so far removed from spirituality, but why do you think that it challenged you in this way?
So all of us, I think, are on a spiritual journey, and we have not obviously reached the end of that journey. And for me, I remember growing up as well, being exposed to several religions, and of course defining my religiosity. But my spirituality grew with time, and it had to be challenged many times, and I'll speak to this in the lecture. Initially, when I created the lecture notes, it was going to be just an academic lecture looking at spirituality, looking at health, and looking at the link. But then I found that I had to step back and look at my own spirituality and how that changed over time, how I questioned my faith, how it was challenged, how I eventually came to the place that I am now, which is nowhere near perfection, but certainly on a journey that has led me to a place where I feel comfortable and excited to see what the road ahead has in store as well. So all of us are on a spiritual journey. In terms of health, there are spiritual determinants to health. We believe in one God. Those of us who are Christian, many of us have many mantras that we use to kind of get us through the day. God will provide those kind of things. We don't often see how much our beliefs, experiences, and practices influence our health-seeking behavior. For instance, the body of Christ is one good example. If you consider your body as a temple of Christ, then you're less likely to do harmful things to it. When we interact with people, we are more likely not to go out there and intentionally harm people in terms of health. When we visit people in hospital, we may offer a word to encourage their spiritual well-being. So spirituality, you're quite right, in the Caribbean landscape is critical, but we haven't actually dissected it out as much as we should. At a national level now, when we're talking about policy and strategic planning, the NCD commission is there. There's several commissions looking at NCDs. Have you heard of any commission that looks at the influence of spirituality on health? There you go. No. Yet our whole belief system, you can say our culture, the why we do what we do, why we value life, is based on our spirituality. And this is something I hope will be infused in the lecture. I do not want it to be a static academic lecture. I hope to be provocative. And I also hope that coming out of it, we will sit in a room or sit remotely and decide on how we advance an agenda for infusing spirituality into our health and wellness strategy.
Very interesting, because a lot of people are not necessarily open to things that they consider not to be factual or based in science,
right,
to associate with science. So that should be an interesting way forward. I don't know if you will, but I think it would be interesting to look at how different segments of the Christian religion, how different denominations approach how they talk to their various publics whom they serve about how they take care of themselves. The Adventists, for example, everything they do, based on what I see, is based in health and wellness.
Right.
How they teach, what they eat, how they behave. They even have programs in the church. So I think is very interesting as we move from denomination to denomination, how it's approached as well.
So the first thing I plan to do is to dichotomize religiosity and spirituality. I would say I had a very religious upbringing. I was christened and confirmed in St. Matthias Anglican Church. I went to Sunday school at Dalkeith Sunday School. I went to school at Seventh-day Adventist, and I also worshiped in the Christian Mission Church with my grandmother. So religiosity was always part of my upbringing. Spirituality, however, came to me later in life when I was challenged. You mentioned about facts and scientists, and that's one of the main conflicts I had with spirituality. I needed something factual to hang on to, and I could not find this in spirituality, and I questioned it. I questioned the meaning of life, what I was doing, why I was doing it. And then there are certain things that came up in my life that put things in perspective. And I'm not going to give away too much about the lecture, but it then caused me to realize that I was actually using spirituality at a very subconscious level, as all of us do, whether we are a believer or not.
All right, so very interesting stuff. And it's certainly going to be interesting to see how you delve into it, you know, given your background as an MD, all the work that you've done, all the work that you're doing now, and to hear that you have, in fact, experienced what you have, I think makes it that much more interesting. So talk to us about when it comes off and how we can be a part of it.
So it comes off tomorrow at the Central Bank Auditorium. The Courtney Blackman Auditorium, I believe it's called, and it's at 7 o'clock, not 7:05, 7 o'clock Barbados. And we get kick-started with various, obviously, salutations and prayers from members of the clergy and the organizing committee. And then the lecture, or I want to call it a conversation, which it really is a conversation with the Christian and the spiritual community, starts then at the Central Bank. There are refreshments that will be served afterwards. Of course, that's not the only reason to attend. There'll be healthy refreshments that are served. And I hope that Barbados will come out and be part of this conversation, which needs to be had, because as we look towards solutions for behavioral change, we need to draw on our own spiritual identity as Caribbean citizens in shaping that solution. So it's tomorrow night at the Central Bank. Come live and in person. Bring your bodies and souls to the Central Bank and join me. I hope it will be a provocative lecture. It certainly has been a challenge for me, as I said, but I thoroughly enjoyed putting it together.
I most certainly don't know if people can leave their souls at home. That's yet to be determined. But I agree, it is indeed a provocative topic, the body of Christ. And I mean, even just those words can go any which way.
Yeah.
The body of Christ, spirituality, health and wellness. And kind of sewing them together. So your last words to anyone watching as to why they should come out. I totally agree. I think we do a lot of talking, and I love that we're moving to a place where we're seeing white papers coming out of a lot of what we're doing, and people are moving forward with what they're doing as well. So your last word to those people who might be watching and are not all the way convinced that they should be there.
Whether you are religious or you're not religious, you have a spiritual domain. Come out and listen as we dissect the spirituality of our own belief system and how that influences health. More importantly, add your voice to how spirituality should influence our national health agenda. Tomorrow night at the auditorium,
The Courtney Blackman
Auditorium,
Central Bank of Barbados.
the Central Bank. Thank you very much. The Central Bank of Barbados. We will be there as one community, lending our voice to spirituality.
All right, how about that? So the topic is the body of Christ, spirituality, health, and wellness. Is going to be delivered by lecturer, clinical pharmacology, deputy dean, recruitment and outreach, faculty of medical sciences at the University of the West Indies, the one and only Dr. Kenneth Connell. So he will be there, and make sure you are as well. It starts at 7 in the evening, and he said on the dot.
On the dot.
Yeah? Not Caribbean time. Make sure you're there. Hey, we're going to take a break and come on back here on Morning Barbados. When we come back, we're looking at risk management, and they're having a patient safety awareness week. What does that mean? Isn't patient safety always top of mind at the QEH? What makes this week that much different? We'll delve into that next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning to you.
Every day at 7 p.m., we bring you a comprehensive news package because keeping you informed is our number one priority. Whether it's local, regional, or international stories, our commitment is to you and keeping you reliably informed. Join us every day at 7 p.m. for CBC News Night.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
As you can see, it's warming up nicely just outside of Standard here in Wildey. And of course, the traffic is building in this area as well. One of the many hot spots that's usually here across the island, and people trying to get children to their schools and people trying to get to work. So make sure you leave home on time to be able to arrive in time to get things done. You know what they say, if you're on time, you're late. So make sure you add a little extra time to be able to get there. And we know that traffic is usually busy across the island. We used to have peak periods. No more. All day. Come outside at 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock. There's traffic. I don't understand it. But welcome back nonetheless, particularly for those of you who are watching across the U.S. I know there was daylight savings time. I believe now we're back in the same time zone. So welcome back to those of you who now know that it is 6:20 because you would have been on another time zone with daylight savings time just last week. All right, so it's time now for us to speak with the Most Honorable Corey Ford, Director of Clinical and Diagnostic Services, and Sandra Beckles-Hackett, who is the Manager of Clinical Risk Management, the Clinical Risk Management Unit at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good to have both of you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And I must say that I've seen you, Dr. Ford, so much on TV and in the things that we've done. It's so ironic that I have never met you in person before, so it's good to have you with us. Same story, Sandra. I can't say that I've seen you all over the TV before, but you know, people would think that because you're in the media that you get to see all the time. So today I'm fanning out over Dr. Ford, but we're here to talk about the unit's Patient Safety Awareness Week, which really is a week to kind of honor patients and honor all the publics whom you serve and kind of engage with them. And that's along the lines of what you do daily, Sandra, as Manager of Clinical Risk Management. It sounds like a big title, but from what I understand, it really is about you managing compliments and complaints and the like. So explain to us a little bit what you do in that particular department.
Okay. Thanks again for having us here this morning. In the Department of Clinical Risk Management, we not only process complaints and compliments, we also look to see, because with clinical risk management, we are looking at opportunities to look to see where we can improve the quality of our healthcare services. So we look at different things happening within the institution where we can improve on. So with the complaints and the compliments, what we do, we not only look to process them to respond to the complainants. What we also do is look to see where are the areas within the processes within the institution, within the hospital, that we need to tweak to improve so that those services are better. Because more often than not, when persons come with complaints, they said, oh, I'm bringing this so that somebody else does not have to have the same experience.
Well, and we most certainly in all spheres of business want to get feedback, because that's how we're able to assess what we're doing and determine how we can change to serve our publics better and, you know, do ourselves justice as well. Dr. Ford, what are some of the areas that you've found over time that people really want to engage with the personnel of the QEH about?
Well, what I would first like to start off, you know me, I'm very straightforward and very to the point. I believe when it comes to issues with regards to what we're here to speak about today, that the average Barbadian really supports this type of activity that is at the QEH. And that's that I also want to say that we as an institution also recognize that we have our challenges. And I think that's a very important place to start in any discussion, to recognize that there are challenges. And there are mechanisms, which I'm sure Sandra will speak about, through which people can actually get this particular complaints in the system, and also for compliments. We often talk about complaints, but there are also many compliments that actually come through the system.
Yes.
And I think how we mitigate those things is traditionally, I think, very important. I think one of the key points I really want to make this morning is that we recognize, as I said before, that there are challenges, and we are currently working at how we can best mitigate those challenges. Part of the clinical risk process is identifying those issues and working with strategic partners within the facility to make sure that we can fix some of these issues, even with all the constraints that we actually have. So complaints come in to the facility, and it's a whole network of activity. What most Barbadians might not know, or they may be privy to in the near future, is that we've started within the last year or so, since I started directorship, a patient relations department. So that's another flag communication with your clinical risks. And then taking it even further, within the last year or so, we started a quality department. And Sandra will tell you, one of the things that I really told them is that these three departments are really key to improvement of services within the system. So clinical risk, identifying what challenges there may be, but also looking at what the complements are, and working with the patient relations department to try to communicate how things can be done. And then quality, looking at the policies within the facility and how we can improve them. And I think we as a people need to understand that these particular departments are departments that are seen throughout the entire globe. And why are they there? They're there for a reason, because in every single hospital across the globe, there are challenges that people face. The average person who comes through the emergency department, which gets a lot of flag, the average person who comes into the facility as admitted, ultimately may encounter challenges along the way. And we are certainly, as a facility, recognizing those things. I always tell them, recognize criticism when it comes in, and don't take it as criticism, but take it as a learning point to do better.
Yes.
Absolutely. So what can we look forward to this week as you prepare to engage and really celebrate the compliments as well as the complaints? Great to hear that processes are in place to ensure that you're dealing with them, because a lot of people, will question that. They want to know whether their complaints are in fact being heard.
Yes.
Or whether what they suggest, because I know suggestions will come in from time to time as well, whether what's being suggested, makes a difference in any way in what you do.
Exactly. That is why we're using this Patient Safety Awareness Week. It's celebrated yearly worldwide. And the theme this year is Together for Safety. And that is why we have now put in our major theme, fostering a culture of safety, which fits right into that. So what we are doing is actually demonstrating through this week of activity that, yes, we have heard you. These are the things that we are doing. So the week of activities on the Wednesday, which is going to be open to the public, we have our internal and external partners. So what persons are going to be seeing, they're going to be seeing being demonstrated the patient safety tools and the needs that other departments are using, because they've been hearing what they've been saying as to this is what is happening to us. So we have our internal partners, different departments within the hospital, actually demonstrating the things that they've started to put in place, and the external partners as to what they're actually assisting us with. So that is primarily that for that open day. But what we have also added is continuous learning for our internal staff. Because we have been hearing, as you said, the suggestions, and we're having digestive sessions on Tuesday and Thursday on management of pressure sores, falls, looking at pharmacovigilance, which comes in with medication incidents, and then actually having a session where we go through how to make a complaint and how to report into the department, which helps us in identifying. So the other thing that we're doing, you have to bring that camaraderie together. So today, we're having shout outs to various departments, encouraging and thanking them for partnering with us in patient safety. One year we took it a bit further and we actually gave certificates of appreciation, and persons have them boldly put up in their departments, thanking you for being a partner in patient safety. And one of the things that we started doing from last year was having the whole week blessed. And we had the pleasure of the First Baptist Church under the leadership of Pastor Leacock yesterday blessing our week of activities, as well as blessing the department for the, and because of the work that we have to do, as well as apart from exercising their brains, we want to exercise their body, because you have to have that balance. So we have a workout session on Thursday afternoon after work. So I'm encouraging all staff to bring their gear down with them, and we are going to have a session in our River Road car park with exercise guru by the name of Spinny. We're finishing off the week with a symposium on the management of preeclampsia. We're learning, because this is a very serious complication in pregnancy, and what we want to demonstrate, because the theme for our symposium is patient safety culture, what does it look like? So what we want to do is to actually show persons how we come together as different specialties when we have complicated conditions, how best we're going to be managing it. So one of the things that what we are going to be doing, presenting, we have very experienced and knowledgeable persons presenting from the anesthesia department, from cardiology, from nursing, from the OBS O&G department, as well as pediatrics. So we want to show the full picture of how we manage preeclampsia. So that's what we are going to be doing. So we want to use this week to remind persons that yes, the department as well as the hospital is very invested in managing patient safety, and we want to demonstrate how we are doing it.
I would imagine that it goes beyond patient safety, and even if we talk about patient safety in terms of what you do, I think it's important to look at managing your internal publics as well, because not only structurally, but just the fact that you manage a 24 operation the way you do. Sometimes when I think about what it takes for staffing needs and taking care of the staff of the QEH, it's a mammoth task. So how are you leveraging what you're doing in terms of bringing the other departments on board and sharing what's happening to manage risks, so to speak, for the general public? How are you kind of leveraging that to make sure that you ensure safety is paramount among staff in the QEH as well?
Yeah, so I think the whole culture of safety is important, like you said, and I just wanted to mention one last point which is important, which is we actually, in recent times, for the last year again, we started a patient committee, so they can filter the challenges directly. So it's not just our internal employees, we actually patients from the outside, we actually patients in the hospital who've had experiences, so they get a chance to be part of the administrative process within the hospital, and that's actually key to a patient-centered approach. But to directly answer your question, and one of the things I would have told the department very, very early on is, internationally, there's this whole idea of people sending in complaints. But also it's a very important component that we also actively get on the ground, go to the departments to figure out what's going on. And Sandra will tell you, certainly in terms of obstetrics, it's really where this is coming out of, obstetrics, pediatrics, emergency department, to see what some of the challenges are on the ground at that point of time. So we actually have an active and a passive process. And I think on identifying what your challenges are, whether it be as they're doing for this week, for example, whether it be a pressure sores, whether it be falls, whether it be medication management, having training in those areas for the staff helps beef things up within the facility and provides that level of support for the staff in terms of education and continuous education. Medicine is fluent. It's not something that stays here today. Things change with time, and I think this is an important part that certainly the institution over the last couple of years have been focusing on, as we focus a lot on what we call a patient-centered approach, and that's where we need to be as a facility. How we get there is what we're certainly discussing today, and we will get there as a people. And I want to encourage Barbadians as they listen today, despite what challenges you may have faced at QEH, at any segment, to really not just go on social media and blast. I think that's something that's common across the globe, but to use the mechanisms which are in place, which I'll ask Sandra to talk about, to make those complaints and to send those compliments. Because if you use that mechanism, we're more than likely able to change things that happen within the facility. And we certainly as a facility recognize, and I keep saying we recognize that there are challenges, and we're willing to try to fix them for the people and for better healthcare within the society.
Absolutely. I want to thank you both for coming in and sharing with us, Dr. Corey Ford and Sandra Beckles-Hackett. I wish you a good week. And I most certainly will try to get down there and engage and interact and report back to our public as well. Yes, Dr.
I just want to say this to the public, and it came to my head just now. You know how it is with me, right? We hear you, we feel you, and we're going to enact action to ensure that you get the best possible health care that you can.
All right, good stuff. Make sure you go on the website as well, qehconnect.com. You get all of this information and a whole lot more as well, so that you are able to truly navigate this health space. Let me just say thank you to everyone at the QEH. I know that you put in phenomenal work every single day to make things possible, and sometimes just one negative thing can put a damper on all the positive work that you do on a daily basis. So congratulations. I don't think that I've had any direct engagement with the clinical risk management unit, but it most certainly is wonderful to speak with you, Sandra Beckles-Hackett, and to be able to hear exactly what you do and kind of put in perspective from you, Dr. Ford, where this department fits into the grand scheme of things when it comes to delivering quality healthcare in Barbados.
You'll hear more from us.
Yes. Absolutely, I look forward to it. So a week of activities. They started with blessings yesterday in the right way, and it continues through to the 15th. Lots happening. Again, we showed you that website, so go there and get all the information you need. The sun is high in the sky. It's getting brighter outside. We had some drizzles over the weekend and early this morning, but it certainly looks like there will be no cloud cover as we go through this marvelous Monday. Do stick around. Coming up next, we're talking the National Senior Games. Jasper Blades was here even before me. He is so excited to join us next to talk about that. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados. Your morning must have.
Morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning indeed, and welcome back to Morning Barbados. We are live from the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Good to have you in company. If you're passing by, bust a wave. We're open to that as well. Like we told you, we're talking the National Senior Games, and it's always great to hear about it. Jasper Blades is in the flesh. She's here to talk a little bit more about it. So let's get into it. National Senior Games, since it was started, almost 15 years or so ago?
22 years ago.
No, it's not that long.
Yes.
22 years ago.
But it's the 20th edition. This will be the 20th edition of Senior Games.
Okay.
We had 2 years of COVID where there was no games, but this is the 20th edition. The game has grown. The games have grown. We have moved from 1 to 2 sports. Now we have 19 sports registered this year.
That's excellent. Because I know initially it was like track and field.
Yes, please.
And now you're into 19 sports?
19 sports.
Tell us more about that.
Well, this year I came on as the coordinator, director, and we have been tasked to make the games bigger and better. So we're trying that. We have introduced, approached other sports, and so they come on board, and they have said yes. And even as we speak, other sports are still coming on board. This year we have motorsports, car racing.
For seniors?
For seniors.
I love it.
So the Motorsport Federation said they like the idea, and they will come on board and join one of their racing events. They will have the old guys, the mature guys. I don't want to call it old, but the mature guys will come and have a race, set it up to be a handicap, and go from there. And we will sponsor and provide the trophies for it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Because when I was thinking other areas of sport that will be included in the National Senior Games, my mind didn't automatically go to car racing.
Yes.
So are there any other sports that we wouldn't immediately
bodybuilding.
Nice.
What we call the masters. Badminton is on this year. And that has a very, if you go around the sports federations or the badminton, it has a large senior age group of players. We also have football coming on this year, and cricket.
Oh, that's truly excellent. Very, very exciting. Tell us about when it gets going and how people can get involved.
So the website is not fully back up yet. We're trying to just change some on the website, and that be put out as soon as possible. But we start on the 5th of May to the 20th of May, and some sports will start their competitions as early as the 22nd of April.
All right, good stuff. How do we get involved? Do you have to be a part of one of these sporting federations or something to be able to be entered?
Well, once you can play the sport and you are over the age of 50, we have a special invitation for 40 to 50. But once you're over 50, you just approach the federation and say you want to play the sports. For instance, netball. Although we say that it's a women's sport, we still have a rule this year which men can play in the tournament this year. So we have guys that do Rose and Kazi, those guys that come on and play, and Bob and Cameron that come on and play with the women's team. It's mixed. We're trying to get the basketball to be mixed also. So those older females who have played in years ago, they can come and play with the guys hopefully on the basketball tournament. archery. We have archery. We have darts. We have cycling, and we're trying new ways of doing things this year. So all you have to do is be able to play the sport, and some federations have come up with the idea for come and try. So we have open dates, which we will post then, and you can come and try the sport. So for instance, archery. So we have an open day for people who want to try, and target those seniors the most.
All right, well, that's good stuff. In terms of timelines, do people have a certain timeline to go to the various federations to be able to get on the seniors team to participate?
We started launch on Friday,
sports?
so
Okay.
it's open now till May 5th, which will be the deadline. But you can just go approach the federation, could contact us at the Ministry of People Empowerment, and we'll give you any more information you want on how you can get to the sport. We will direct you to the sports. If you go on the website, you will see the registration form, and that will allow you to sign up and then go and approach the federation and play the sport. Suppose you want to bring a CBC basketball team, bring yourself or Mark Seal and Rebert want to play.
I wouldn't fit into that senior games category, so we have to call some other names, Jasper.
Or Mark Seal and Rebert. Sorry.
I don't think Ari would fit in either, but you go.
I would know what she calls me, but you could bring a basketball team, CBC basketball team, seniors, and y'all can play.
Okay, so you don't have to go through the federation.
You to register, yes, but you can bring your team and come and play.
Okay.
So if you have a cricket team at CBC Masters, you can register in tournament and come and play.
Okay.
Right.
So they're going to be more or less multiple tournaments happening as a part of the 20th anniversary of the National Senior Games for 2024.
Correct. We have invited the police, the services, the prison. Just bring teams and come. Just bring teams and try to get the seniors, because our aim this year is aging actively through sports. That's one of our teams this year. So we want to get all that involved. Road tennis, if you have a road tennis team, bring them and let's play.
Aging actively through sports. I absolutely love that. And again, give us some timelines for the games so people know when they can get in.
The games will start on the 5th, officially start on the 5th to the 20th of May. And that starts with cycling on the 5th, with a road race, and the other sports will just fit in time slots as we go, and we culminate on the 18th, 19th, and 20th with track and field, which is we call the premier sport of senior games. That's been running the longest.
And of course, it's going to be at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex.
Starting like 10 o'clock in the morning, finishing around 3 in the afternoon. Those days. The Saturday, there will be, we call it open day for field events, because we cannot throw javelin or discus at UB. So we have another compound we're working on right now. We will have the field events the Saturday, and the Sunday and the Monday will be track and field.
All right, excellent stuff. And of course, for the games, it's going to be coincided with the weekend.
Yes, please.
The holiday weekend. So for people who want to come out and experience the games
bring
from
your family.
The position of spectators.
Yes, we want that.
Can they purchase tickets and come out?
Tickets will be on, we don't want to say on sale, but be available.
Okay.
They'll be available for you.
So are they free?
Free-ish.
What does that mean, Jasper?
But you get there, you will see.
No, man, you can't tell people that on national TV.
No,
what do you mean the free-ish?
Free-ish. Don't be just like a lot of freeness. So we could have this free-ish tickets. Tickets will be there. We don't really charge for tickets, but you have to get tickets for entry.
Okay.
Right. So they're free-ish.
So they're free-ish, but you have to have a ticket to enter.
Yes, please.
That's not free-ish, Jasper.
Well, it'd be just like freeness. So we can see how it goes.
It's too early, man.
No, it's good morning time.
All right, so where can we collect these tickets?
We will have the box offices, which will be the National Disability Units and the Sports Council. We'll have some at the Ministry of Empowerment and Other Affairs.
All right, so make sure you get out and get your tickets in the early. Do you already know what time in terms of when the tickets will be available so people can start coming out?
Well, yes and no. We're still finalizing that.
So that's a no.
That's a no. But yes, we will know soon, hopefully.
You can't give a
And
straight
get
answer
one-
to save your life, boy.
Well, you know, it is good. But once we agree at those times, I will get back to you and let you know.
So it's time for me to wrap up ish.
Ish.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna wrap up or next.
Or you come and play ish. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play ish.
Yeah.
Free ish, she says. Oh my goodness, you're too funny, but we definitely need a laugh this early in the morning. So the National Senior Games coming up, and 19 disciplines. Congratulations on being here, celebrating 20 years, around for 22.
Yes, please.
But moving from 13 disciplines at the last games to 19 this time around, and to hear that you're including motorsport and all those other things, truly is
mentioned. We went as far as considering horse racing.
Okay.
And have the older jockeys come back and give a ride, because we have this thing called the stamp of approval. So we will not organize the sport, but if you have your sport, and we can give you the stamp of approval for seniors to take part and have a one-day race for the seniors.
Yeah.
That is all part of the new idea we're looking at, pushing the games and making it bigger and better.
Absolutely, and I think this is always a great way to kind of bridge the intergenerational gaps that are happening, where we can look for that level of engagement, and we have young people coming out and really being proud and seeing what their grandparents and their parents can do. Very,
Right.
very, very, very important things happening in that area. So I think it might be time to wrap up the interview. I'm not all the way sure.
Ish.
Sure-ish, yeah. Jasper Blades, yeah, doing wonderful things along with the organizing committee for the National Senior Games, the 20th installment. Make sure you listen out for when those tickets are available. Grab yours and be a part of it, even if it's just as a spectator, but they're hoping that you get involved as they continue to push actively aging with sport. Hey, it's time to take a break, and when we come back here on Morning Barbados, we are going to be speaking with some good folks from the National Disabilities Unit as we speak with John Hollingsworth, Director, Kim Archer, Team Leader, and Dawn Grosner. And they're going to be, Dr. Dawn Grosner, they're going to be talking to us all about the unit's health fair that's coming up. So stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Every day at 7 p.m., we bring you a comprehensive news package because keeping you informed is our #1 priority. Whether it's local, regional, or international stories, our commitment is to you and keeping you reliably informed. Join us every day at 7 p.m. for CBC Newsnight.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados. Your morning must have.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning to you.
Every day at 7 p.m., we bring you a comprehensive news package because keeping you informed is our #1 priority. Whether it's local, regional, or international stories, our commitment is to you and keeping you reliably informed. Join us every day at 7 p.m. for CBC Newsnight.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados. Your morning must-have.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so good morning and welcome back. Again, we are coming to you live. So for those of you who are watching online, it's good to have you in company. Remember, you can find us on Facebook. Tell your friends and relatives over in a way. They can also find us on YouTube as well. Always good to get the feedback from you too. So if there's somebody you know, or if there's something you'd like us to feature here on Morning Barbados, do send us an email. It's morningbarbados@cbc.bb. And of course, is in keeping with tradition. The way we speak, no Barbadian says good morning. We say morning. So it's without the G. So it's morningbarbados@cbc.bb. Just remember, drop the G. So joining me around the table now, I'm happy to have John Hollingsworth, who is Director of the National Disabilities Unit, Kim Archer, who's team leader with Carlisle Laboratories Innovation Team, and Dr. Dawn Grosvenor, who is UE Lecturer of Ophthalmology. Good morning. Good to have all of you sitting in with us today.
Morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday. Good morning.
Morning.
All right, so we're talking about an upcoming health fair being put on by the unit, and it's coming up on Wednesday, so we're pretty close. Talk to me about why the unit decided to have a health fair at this time.
This month, March, is the month of the disabled, and we are having a series of activities to commemorate the month of the disabled under the theme One Community United in Action. The health fair is one of the events that will hopefully showcase some of the challenges from a health perspective that persons with disabilities experience. And what we want to do basically is to give the public and persons with disabilities an idea of some of the services that are available to them. Carlisle Laboratories have consented to join us in this exercise, as well as the ophthalmology department, who will be doing some screening on that day.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm so happy to be able to put a face to someone from Carlisle Laboratories, because I'm one of those people who's always reading labels. And so a lot of the times, I think a lot of Barbadians don't realize how much you do in terms of a lot of the medicines that we take here in Barbados, how much of the medicine is done here at Carlisle Laboratory. So tell us a little bit about what you do before we even get into how you're participating with the National Disabilities Unit Health Fair this week.
Well, that's true. Carlisle Laboratories is a name, well-known name in each household. We have been around for 63 years, We're a pharmaceutical manufacturing company. So we produce products such as BNT and Histol and Histotussins.
You can stop there.
Yeah, all those
Okay, listen, we're talking about major medicine. Right there.
Yes.
It's definitely BNT ointment,
Yes.
BNT dust,
Yes.
Histol, Tussin. Let me
Yes.
come on.
Yes.
Yeah, continue. Sorry.
So no, that's fine. So we are a pharmaceutical company. We have been around for 63 years, as I said. The problem is because our sister company Collins is a distributor, a lot of people don't know Carlisle. They just know the products. So this is where we come in, where we want to get Carlisle's name out there, so people will identify the company with the products. So.
All right, that's beautiful. And there's going to be a focus on ophthalmology. So let's talk a bit about that.
Sure. This is World Glaucoma Week, and that falls in the month of disabled every year. So this is a prime opportunity for us to partner with the National Disabilities Unit, and we're going to be one of the booths that will be present there. I'll be giving a lecture on glaucoma, and I'm wearing my University of the West Indies hat as lecturer in ophthalmology, because the university really has a commitment to community outreach as well. A lot of the glaucoma screening that we do is actually done by university lecturer or associate lecturers, and students as well participate quite a lot. So we're bringing all of that entire team to the National Disabilities Unit Health Fair and taking that opportunity to capture the people who will be coming to talk about glaucoma and to give people free checks for glaucoma, because glaucoma is the #1 cause of irreversible blindness in Barbados. Blindness is a significant disability, so these two things dovetail quite perfectly.
That's beautiful to see that you're able to kind of bring the two together and highlight how they're impacting a certain segment of the community as well. Can we talk briefly about the incidence of glaucoma in Barbados? We hear about this so much, and I think it's gotten to a place where people are kind of like, par for the course, comes with time, you get older, this is what it is. So let's talk a bit about how we should look at it and managing it, and the incidence of glaucoma here on island.
Yeah, we have one of the highest levels of glaucoma anywhere in the world, actually. It's a very common problem in Barbados. So most people, if you don't have glaucoma, you have a relative, a friend, a co-worker, or someone who has glaucoma. When people hear glaucoma, they worry about going blind, but not everyone with glaucoma goes blind. In fact, the minority of people with glaucoma have such a severe and aggressive form that they will go blind. The majority of people, if they're picked up early and treated consistently and effectively and keep up with their health checks, will maintain their vision for their whole lifetime. So this is our week to encourage people to sort of take that more hopeful approach and that hopeful message. Come out, get your eye screenings done. They're free in this week, 1 week only, and then keep up with those checks year by year as you go on. About 7% of the population over 40 has glaucoma in Barbados. That's 1 in 14 people. In this room, we might have 14 people. That means one of us should have glaucoma statistically.
Wow.
Over 50, over the age of 50, it's 1 in 11. So you're looking at 10%. Over the age of 70, it's 1 in 6. So it is something that we see more with aging, but it can affect all ages. And I'm seeing people as young as their 20s and 30s with glaucoma as well.
Wow, very interesting stuff. And a few years ago, I did a commissioned production, and I called it Labeled Disabled. And I called it that because in my research, not that we don't know it, but what came even clearer to me is the fact that when we think about the disabled community, we forget that we're in a position where any day through an accident, through glaucoma,
Yes.
you can lose your sight. There's so many other ways that we too can become disabled. And I think the only difference with people being labeled disabled is if they're unable to do what they need to do. So, that's a whole other conversation, but I think that it really comes to the fore in the context of this full conversation as we look at exactly what you're doing and this focus now on eye care and everything else. So talk to us. It's coming up on Wednesday.
Yes.
Outside of Carlisle Laboratories. I love Carlisle Laboratories. I didn't even know, but now I do. And we're going to have another conversation with you guys. But what else can we expect at the health fair?
Well, you can expect some other seminars. We'll be focusing also on social work approaches to persons with disabilities. We would also have another seminar
Diabetes.
on diabetes as well.
Nutrition.
So nutrition, yes. We would also have other tests, diabetes tests, and various other medical tests. We would have a very active day, running from 9 until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So persons are free to pass through and have their checks, participate in the lectures, and basically take advantage of what we have to offer.
Oh, that's beautiful. As a part of the innovation team at Carlisle Laboratories, it's interesting to hear a team title that in a pharmaceutical space. So what do you do? I would imagine research and development is a big part of what you do, but innovation, talk to me about that.
Well, we were put together to help spotlight wellness issues in Barbados and eventually in the Caribbean. We want to help look into those communities that are lacking education, health education, or access to services. So we, as a team, we wanted to give back. We want to identify those areas and help educate, help provide services that are needed. So we were put together to find and identify what those needs are. So that's how we came about with the National Disabilities Unit. We were grateful to Mr. Hollingsworth to join with us and to help us to put our name out there as well and to assist him in giving back to the disabled community with health education, giveaways, and creating this health fair. So the team then, as you said, we want to do other things with not only the National Disabilities Unit, but with other
We have a lot of things for you to do. Don't worry about it. You can fill up your calendar.
That's fine. We want to be out there. That is the main point of the Carlisle Innovation Team. We don't only want to be a pharmaceutical company. Yes, we provide drugs for persons, but we also want to help give back health-wise, health education, health care. We want to show people that we are a company that care about you. We don't just want to give you and sell you drugs. We want to help you, in your health and make sure the Barbados community is healthy and we are educated from small to grown adults. So.
Good stuff. You just put a smile on my heart. And when I say that, I absolutely mean it. Dr. Dawn, I saw you nodding in agreement or just being happy about it too, because for so long we've been kind of operating in little silos, so we know things are going on, but a lot of companies are not necessarily open to coming out and sharing what they do and going beyond just providing maybe goods or services. So this is wonderful to hear. I'm certainly wearing your hat as a UE lecturer as well.
Exactly. The focus on education is really important. We talk about having a high literacy rate, but we want people to be literate about their health, right? To understand health education. That's a different ball game. And understanding the diseases and how you can prevent them, how you can remain healthy, that focus on education and health, bringing it together, is critical.
That is absolutely beautiful. So again, it's coming off Wednesday, 13th March from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at your grounds at Lower Colomar Rock.
Yes, very much so.
Yes? So how do you enter from the normal entrance that you go to?
The entrance is
National
coming from
Insurance?
the traffic lights from National Insurance. You can come straight down from National Insurance and left turn.
I did that on purpose because I know Bajans can't give directions.
Because if you come in from the hospital, this will be the roundabout. You can't take the right turn because that would be illegal. I wouldn't want to encourage any person to do that. So you have to go to the traffic lights and come behind the National Insurance. You find Walcott Building, come around until you find Godson Drive and then turn left.
All right. Final words of encouragement, Dr. Dawn. 1 in 14.
1 in 14 persons over 40.
It increases, the possibility increases, the chances increase as you get a little older that you're going to be touched by glaucoma. And Barbados is such a small place, literally and figuratively, that you must know somebody. It's your granny, it's your aunt, it's your sister, it's your neighbor.
So if particularly, and we want to encourage people, particularly if you have glaucoma in your family, if you have a relative with glaucoma, you should prioritize getting your eyes checked. Many of the optical places, the ophthalmologists, the eye care professionals are participating in the screening this week, apart from what we're doing on Wednesday. So from today, screening starts this morning. And there was an ad in the Sunday paper. They can check the locations there. They can look at our Facebook and Instagram pages, Barbados Glaucoma Week. to find out more. And we have a number as well, 826-1580 if you want to find out where to get screened. But if you know you have an eye care professional near you, you can just call them and find out when they are screening.
All right, a final word from the innovation team at Carlisle Laboratories.
Just want persons to come out, enjoy the fair. Carlisle will be there with our products as well. So anybody can come. It's not just for the disabled. We want everyone to come out.
I need a little histology.
That is right. You can come here. We'll probably have
Before we even started talking, remember I was messing with the carpets here yesterday.
Yes.
And I have a little cough. The only thing that's going to work is a little histo for me.
I think we should highlight there.
Carlisle products will be there, of course. So come on Wednesday.
Yes.
Absolutely. And from you, Mr. Director.
I just want to join Kim here and encourage the persons to come out to the health fair. There will surely benefit from what is on offer. In addition, we would also have some other providers, the persons with disabilities there, like Carib Rehab, for instance, who will be showcasing the equipment that they use to assist persons with disabilities.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I want to say a very special shout out to all of the organizations that really get together to make sure that members of the disabled community's voices are amplified. Not just heard, but amplified as well. So again, thank you, John Hollingsworth, Director of the National Disabilities Unit, Kim Archer, my new favorite person. She's team leader at Carlisle Laboratories with the innovation team. They're getting out and sharing information, educating, and all the like. And Dr. Don Grosvenor is a UE lecturer in ophthalmology. Good to have all of you around the table this morning. And we most certainly look forward to the follow-up as to what will happen with the health fair on Wednesday, 9 to 3 on the ground over at Lower Column. So make sure you get out and be a part of that. Hey, we're going to take another break here on Morning Barbados, but join us afterwards because we have lots more discussions coming up, some provocative topics that you don't want to miss.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados. Your morning must have.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning to you.
Every day at 7 p.m., we bring you a comprehensive news package because keeping you informed is our #1 priority. Whether it's local, regional, or international stories, our commitment is to you and keeping you reliably informed. Join us every day at 7 p.m. for CBC Newsnight.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados, your morning must-have.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So good morning indeed. Welcome, welcome back to Morning Barbados. It's a marvelous Monday. I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope we're going to set the tone for a great week ahead. So we're joined now by Cornelius Bartlett, who's a family advocate, founder and chairman of Family Fest Barbados, and he's been joining us over the last 2 weeks as we kind of focus in on family and how important it is to discuss certain things. So today we want to take a look at, difficult discussions, getting it right or wrong, and then dealing with it. So welcome. Good to have you as always.
Thank you. Great being here as always.
All right. So tell me, do you find that families often are willing to, or family members often are willing to admit if they're right or wrong? And do we deal with it as a family as often as we should?
Okay, well, first of all, unfortunately, most of us as human beings are not close to being self-aware as we should be. I see way too many people getting divorced that shouldn't be divorced. I see way too much turmoil that ought not to occur. But I think that when you look at life in general, and you look at families, and you look at the turmoil that's in families, I've been looking at it for many years because this is my passion. And what I've come to realize, not only for other people, for myself as well, of course, starting with me, is that it comes down to two main categories that we fall down in. We fall down in the area of the strategic, and we fall down in the areas of emotional intelligence. So if you were to bring all of the people now who are having problems, the millions of people that are having problems in their family lives, and you drill down and tear off all the layers, you're going to find that it comes down to two things: lack of strategic thinking and lack of understandings of your own emotions as well as the emotions of others.
Let's talk a little bit about the parent-child relationship. I find a lot of the times we find that parents are not willing or able to admit an instance where they might have been wrong in the way they've spoken with, dealt with the child, or maybe even an accusation. Because sometimes, we assume that the children are wrong without giving them a chance to give their side of things. So, how are we damaging families by not being able to admit sometimes as parents that we too can go wrong?
Okay, that is a very loaded question. And to answer that, I have to answer it in layers. First of all, the reason why a lot of us do not admit is because a lot of times, and it not only has to do with children, it has to do with husbands with wives, wives with husbands, boyfriends with girlfriends. It has to do with the traumas and the baggage, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, that we have brought into relationships. And what you're going to find is that if you have a parent, for example, who is fighting with self-esteem issues, you're going to have a difficulty admitting to a child. Because a lot of times, some parents parent by power struggles. In other words, I'm the boss in here, I'm the one that feed you, so you don't really have a say. And you know, we came from an unfortunate past where, especially among the blacks, because I grew up as a black man, so you can't speak about ethnic groups, be seen and not be heard. So these are all dysfunctional theories that we need to really get rid of, because it is destroying the future. And I'm glad you mentioned children, because one of the things that I want us to be very clear on is that whatever way we impact or affect children, whether positively or negatively, we're impacting the future. So it comes down to the parent becoming emotionally aware, being mindful, dealing with your past traumas so that you can relate to your children properly. Honestly, we could have a whole discussion on it. I do not like what I'm seeing in terms of how some people treat children. So I'm glad you asked that question, but it comes down to we're not going to move forward until we go and drill down into our own emotions, our own traumas, or the baggage that we're bringing from the past, which allows us to then relate to our children in a better way.
How do we start to deal with that?
Well, by becoming mindful, becoming self-aware. I think we need to pause. We need to do a reset. Personally, and me speaking personally, one of the reasons that I am the person I am today, and I continue to develop, because trust me, as much as I have a lot down pat, I have a lot that I still need to down pat. So I'm not even going to say that, you know, you will ever stop learning. But the point of the matter is that there are too many people out there who are parenting, who are husbands, who are wives, who are employers, who are employees, who are not self-aware, who are not mindful. And let me tell you, right now, the world is being destroyed on emotions because of lack of consciousness. The world is being destroyed on emotions.
All right, when we talk about being self-aware, I would imagine that's the first step. Some people will call it admitting. Maybe is found through introspection. Maybe it's through other members of the family sharing it with you, whatever your challenges are, or self-actualization. Whatever way or whichever way we discover it, then what do we do? Because then that might be where the stopgap comes in, where people don't know what to do next. A lot of people are still ashamed of things that would have happened in their youth, yet they continue to perpetrate them. So beyond finding out, okay, I might not be doing the right things, what would you advise should be the next step?
Okay, well, the next step is really several steps. And there are many, you know, they have a saying there's more than one way to break down. And I wouldn't want to suggest that there is only one thing that you need to do. There's no one pill. So, for example, I have found that, for example, getting involved in getting to know God, for example, and getting involved in the faith-based community, there is no place that I think that we go during the week that brings you to a place of self-awareness and introspection as church. I know I've said it before, I'll say it again. I have lived a life where I had a before and after. I've done a lot of things. I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of research. And I'm telling you that there is no place that I am during the week. There's nothing that I do. In my office, I'm at my desk. There's nowhere that I go during the week that I get the level of chance to do a pause and an introspection like I get when I go to church, when I sit down in a Bible study. I preach and I teach as well, but I like to be preached to and I like to be taught as well. That's one. There are lots of good resources on the internet, for example. And unfortunately, a lot of people spend time on social media looking at what really does not add any value to them. Spend that time looking at areas like emotional intelligence. Spend that time watching a motivational or an inspirational session that helps you to be more positive. And I think that whatever you feed becomes strong, whatever you starve becomes weaker. And you're going to find that people, as human beings, we become strong in the areas that we feed. If you look at sports, for example, and you see some great people in the NBA, for example, doing some great things, and you see them for a couple of minutes and you're in awe, but you were asking what they do behind the scenes, you will hear about the thousands and thousands of rehearsals they do to get to that stage. Same principle. Life is about principle. And the same principle applies. What you invest in gives you returns.
Now, we started out talking about getting it right or getting it wrong. So, you know, let's return to that space as we kind of close the gap on the vast discussion that we're really having. It certainly is not possible to really cover all of this, but this is meant to be a conversation starter at least. So talking about getting it right or getting it wrong within the family setting, we will never ever get everything right. So in terms of how you engage with family, what then should you do? There are many people who can't apologize, for example, and that in and of itself can create challenges. So how do you do that? Should you have frequent family meetings to discuss? Should you apologize and move on? Is this how you should teach your children to deal with things? Speaking up if they feel like they're not heard in some way, or, you know, should we continue on the way that we are?
Here's how I would answer that, and that's a great question, very loaded. Here's how you would deal with that. First of all, we start in the strategic, because remember I mentioned at the beginning there are two elements. There is the issue of the strategic and there's the issue of emotional intelligence. If we start in the strategic, and this is what the strategic does, the strategic puts you in a place where you don't only deal in the moment, you deal in the future. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have a child and the child does something that the child ought not to do. Now, in the immediate, you might allow emotions to take over where you get angry and you deal with it in an immediate way. If you can go into the strategic and think of what lesson do I want to teach this child now that will augur well for them in the future. So too often we see our little cute baby girl or baby boy, or our cute little girl or little boy, as just my sweet little child. But what we don't realize is that every input, everything we do towards this child, whether it's not apologizing, whether it is giving unnecessary corporal punishment, which is another topic, you know, we need to think of what is it that I need to do now that will give me a wonderful 25-year-old. What will I do now? What do I need to do now as a father with my daughter, for example, to make her somebody's great wife? What do I need to do with my son now to make him somebody's great husband? That's the strategic. Now, we cannot deal with the strategic until we deal with ourselves and our emotions. And too often, I see people parenting. I see husbands being husbands based on egos, wives being wives based on total emotions. And emotions are very important. Very, very important. I'm not going to... But emotions are not the best things to make important life decisions by, whether it's raising your children or making a decision in terms of how you relate to your wife. There are lots of people that say insulting things to each other in their marriage. There are men who call their wives all kinds of things. There are women who call their husbands all kinds of things. And we know that women, when you say a word or give a bad word, you'll remember it because it touches your emotions. A man who loves respect, men are big on respect. When a man starts to feel disrespected, then you have a problem. So here is, we have lots of human beings who are married, who are having children. They're not emotionally aware. They're not strategic in their approach to life. And then you have a combination of confusion culminating within the family structure.
All right.
I've said a lot.
With the adults in the situation, with husbands and wives then, what would be the advice in terms of how they deal with being right or wrong and being able to move past it?
Well, sorry to answer it this way, but until you deal with yourself, get to know yourself, and come to terms with your own traumas. So, for example, if you have a man or a woman that has a low self-esteem, that is suffering from rejection from childhood, there's no coming to terms with apologizing. There's no coming... Let me put it this way. It's almost like asking me to build a house from the roof first. You cannot build a house from the roof first. You have to start from the foundation. So my advice would be to anybody that's listening is to take a pause and get to know self first. In the area of emotional intelligence, there's a theory that goes like this. Know self, choose self, give self. When you get to know yourself, you get to develop your best self. You get to choose your best self. You get to give your best self. But it's not going to start by... In other words, you cannot start at the end. You have to start at the beginning.
All right, good stuff. I think it's important to, underpin this with, something that was said along the lines, which is there must be conversation.
For sure.
And that's very, very important. As always, insightful Cornelius Bartlett, family advocate, founder and chairman of Family Fest Barbados. How's that coming along?
Coming along great, actually. We're looking to pull off our 5th hosting a Family Fest in July. Of course, we want to ask for corporate Barbados to give us support. We have some things that we need to do that is going to cost money, but it's coming along well. And we actually have a committee meeting tomorrow.
Oh, that's excellent. And it's mostly online, so you can participate virtually. You don't have to be in an actual space to be there. And that's one of the things that I really like about what you're offering as well.
Yes, and what we're doing too, we're mixing it up this year. We actually want to have some community events this year, but you'll hear about it. We'll be right here on Mornin Barbados in the future to share it with you.
All right, excellent. We're going to take another break here and come on back. Make sure you take all that's been said to heart, or at least consider it, because we don't expect you to agree with everything that's said, but we most certainly expect you to at least start the conversation. It's time for another break here on Morning Barbados. When we come back, a whole lot more. We have lots more to talk about, so stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning to you.
Every day at 7 p.m., we bring you a comprehensive news package because keeping you informed is our #1 priority. Whether it's local, regional, or international stories, our commitment is to you and keeping you reliably informed. Join us every day at 7 p.m. for CBC Newsnight.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados. Your morning must have.
Morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So they started out some years ago as a support group, and they've moved forward. Now they're a charity. We're talking about the Barbados Down Syndrome Association. With that in mind, I'd like to welcome Asha Eileen Renwick, who's president of the association.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
You too, Tisha. It's good to
we
be
go
here.
back to school days.
Yes, we do. We do, most definitely. Yes.
So wonderful to see you. We want to look forward to World Down Syndrome Day, a poster competition that you're putting on. But before we get into that, tell me a little bit about the association, why you decided to move from, talking and advocating to becoming a charity.
Yes. So we officially registered in 2019. We started as a support group. So we would more reach out to mothers, we would get references from doctors, and we would do a lot of counseling, a lot of introducing mothers to the journey, what it's like, what to expect. Then we moved on from advocacy. As you said, we're still involved in advocacy every year, especially around this time. World Down Syndrome Day is approaching on the 21st of March. I have on my shirt here, 321. And we registered as a charity in 2019. And we really wanted to be able to be here to support individuals with Down syndrome and their families in Barbados. So every year around this time, we're back here, we're advocating, we're selling socks. No, we didn't start off selling socks, but now we're trying to make it our annual fundraiser to raise funds for the association.
Well, I can tell you the Rock Your Socks initiative has grown through the years.
It really has.
You know, I'm one of those people who last year, a few years ago, I was running around in Sheraton Center trying to find socks, and I was so pleasantly surprised to see that there were throngs of parents with their little ones trying to get their socks to support the initiative.
Yes.
Is it translating to people truly being aware of all that you're trying to put out there?
Yes, we find over the years it is building. The awareness is building, and we're finding schools especially and some private sector businesses really embracing the themes of the year. This year's theme is End the Stereotypes. But they're doing that awareness in the schools. We had a company last year put on a whole production around awareness, posters, we had flyers. So I find that the awareness is building. Of course, we still have the concern because we don't want it to be a commercial venture, so to speak. You know, we don't want people to just wear socks because they're pretty. We want them to always remember that they're rocking their socks for Down syndrome and Down syndrome awareness. So when you were in the mall in Sheraton, the Down Syndrome Association, we were there selling our own socks. So even though we will have the competitors, people selling socks, we want to encourage people to support the Down Syndrome Association and of course get their socks from us when they're out shopping.
Absolutely, and I can thoroughly endorse that 100%. So let's talk about this poster competition that we're encouraging people to get involved with. Get creative, have a little fun, and support Down syndrome
Correct.
at the same time.
Yeah, so we wanted this year to also, even though the schools are involved, we wanted to give the children an opportunity to get even more involved and learn a lot more about Down syndrome. So while they're wearing their socks, they're doing their research, they're finding out about Down syndrome, they're going to focus on the theme, which is End the Stereotypes. And of course, we know how stereotypes go, and they're pervasive in all areas, women, race. So specifically within the disability community, we definitely have to tackle stereotypes a lot, specifically Down syndrome, which tends to be plagued by a lot of negative stereotypes. So we want the kids to get involved, to learn about Down syndrome. They, of course, use their ideas, craft, get the art teachers involved, teachers who always support us, get involved and participate in the poster competition.
Now, Asha, you've been president for 10 years. I'm sure you've seen a shift. I most certainly have seen a shift in the way that people talk about, engage with, you know, are open to discussion about Down syndrome. From your perspective, what have you seen in terms of changes, positive change toward your cause?
I have seen over the years, as you said, a lot of the attitude change. It's slow, and sometimes for us parents it feels really slow. We feel like we're creeping, but we have definitely seen that positive change around Down syndrome. When my son was born, it was definitely still a hush-hush, a whisper. You know, people, the doctors might deliver the diagnosis in a more negative way. You get a lot of sorries, but now we find a more celebratory attitude now. People tell you, no, it's fine, it's a more positive thing, and even though it does have its challenges, we have seen a shift, as you said, over the years towards inclusion as well. Not the immediate assumption that these children need to be set aside or hidden, or we on our pop-up sock on Saturday or at Sky Mall. We had, well, my son was there and his friend, and they were walking through the mall holding hands, and excuse me, people were, you know, we still get the stares and we still get people looking, but it's positive because now we're seeing, we don't only have the socks now, so you get to see individuals with Down syndrome out and about and interacting, and that's what we want to see, and we want Barbadians to become more accustomed to seeing that, so it's not a taboo thing, you know, there's no fear attached to it. So we're definitely seeing that shift in perspective, and the inclusion is beginning to happen.
That's beautiful. How important was it for you as a mom to step out of just being a mom to a beautiful young man with Down syndrome, but to also advocate and share to make things even better for him and his friends.
Yes, it is. It means everything. And we just had International Women's Day, and I always call our moms in our group our rock stars, our rocking moms, because it really is. It is a lot. And we come from the beginning where we receive a diagnosis, which is usually a surprise to most moms. Most of us didn't have the test before. So one of the stereotypes attached to Down syndrome is that it's a condition that only affects older women. I don't think I'm that old as yet. And
no,
we're not. So I had my son at 29, right? And we do have younger mothers in the association as well. So it means a lot to us to be able to go out there and advocate and introduce the world to our children and let them see what they can do, because they can do so much. So we really need to continue with the advocacy as mothers and as fathers as well, of course. But speaking about the mothers, because sometimes it hits home a little harder for the moms, because we would have carry the kids through the pregnancy and everything. But it does mean a lot to us, and we find we're getting a little more confident over the years. You see, we have social media now, so we see a lot of moms online doing their TikToks and their IG posts about their kids with Down syndrome, and it's really, we're seeing a positive response now, and we're really happy to see that, and we want to encourage mothers as well and fathers to be advocates for their children. It's very important.
That's truly beautiful. All right, so who can enter this poster competition? Because I'm getting my thoughts together already.
Yes, this is for all schools, public and private. It's definitely a school competition, but now you're talking, I'm wondering, we should have included the general public. But at this point, it's a poster competition for both primary and secondary schools to enter, to share their knowledge about Down syndrome, focus on the theme and the stereotypes, which of course is we find this theme this year, we're very excited about it. Last year we had a theme, with us, not for us. This year we're trying to get people to end the stereotypes attached to Down syndrome. There are many. Children with Down syndrome and adults are capable of so much. Inclusion is definitely the way to get the best results. So we want, especially the schools, because of course education is where it all happens. It all happens in education. So if we can get that inclusion happening in education, and we can get the whole school system embracing and accepting and celebrating, we will have definitely made a mark in terms of this year's campaign.
All right, that's truly beautiful. So 2 things coming up. We have the World Down Syndrome Day poster competition.
Yes.
The deadline is March 29th. So you're going beyond the observance on the 21st.
Yeah.
And so you can get your entries in. How do we get those entries in?
Okay, so we're at the Council for the Disabled, the Barbados Council for the Disabled, all this week. We're there up until the 20th, but we're still accepting the posters there up to the 29th. So schools just have to go to the council and drop off their posters. And we're also there selling socks as well. So apart from our pop-up socks over the weekend, we're there at the Barbados Council for the Disabled from 10 to 2 every day with our socks as well.
I definitely will come through and get my socks.
And I have some for you guys on set. I have some with me this morning. I see. You know, I always walk.
Peter, are you going to put your foot in here so we can
yes,
see?
Come Peter. Peter wears his socks every year. Thank you very much, Peter. Yes.
For some reason, I'm looking at Peter's shoes more than I'm looking at Peter's. Listen,
he always supports. Thank you very much.
Mike, you have no behavior. I love it. All right. So, of course, you know, it's Rock Your Socks Day on March 21st.
Yes.
World Down Syndrome Day.
World Down Syndrome
Day. And we want to see everybody
yes.
rocking their socks.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's the 3rd month and the 21st day. So 3/21, World Down Syndrome Day every year.
What do we do when we support you by buying these socks? How are we able to contribute?
Yeah, so of course, purchasing the socks alone definitely goes to all funds, go towards the association. We do have companies and some individuals who want to go beyond that and donate to the association. And our flyers on social media have our bank account information as well in case you want to make a contribution. We sometimes even get people calling in, they want to meet up, they want to make a small donation to the association. We are always welcome for that support. It goes a long way. We try to run our programs throughout the year, specifically in our Down Syndrome Awareness Month, which is in October, which is separate from the day itself, the World Down Syndrome Day. So we're always there. Our contact number is 843-9948, and that you'll hear me on the other end of the line, and we can have that conversation about how you can go about supporting and even volunteering with the association.
So be sure to share lots of photos with us.
Of course, every
year. So that we can share them on the 21st.
Yes.
It's always wonderful to catch up with you, Asha. I think we see each other, you know, a few years go by
Yes,
and then
very
we see
much
you.
so.
And of course, I have to embarrass you. I can't let you leave here
boy.
without talking about the legacy. I have to say good morning to your dad.
Yes, very much so. Thank you. Thank
Mr.
you.
Adonijah.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen you for a long time either.
You hear that, Dad? You're going to shout out on Morning Barbados.
Yes. Wonderful to see you, and we look forward to all that the day will bring.
Thank you
coming
so
up
much.
on March 21st.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for having me here once again.
Absolutely. So get in on that poster competition. Remember, they're at the Barbados Council for the Disabled up until the 20th. You can come on through and drop off those posters. Have as much fun as you want. Be as creative as you want to be. It's open primarily to schools, primary and secondary. So get the little ones involved and be a part of a worthy cause. Most importantly, rock your socks on March 21st. It's time for another break on Morning Barbados, but stay with us because we'll be back to wrap things up in a big way after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados. Your morning must have.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Every day at 7 p.m., we bring you a comprehensive news package because keeping you informed is our #1 priority. Whether it's local, regional, or international stories, our commitment is to you and keeping you reliably informed. Join us every day at 7 p.m. for CBC Newsnight.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back. There's been much discussion over the last few months, I'd say last few years, especially coming out of COVID, about how our children have been affected by, not being in school in the traditional way. But even before that, we heard about a lot of students who are having challenges with not only concepts like numeracy, but basic literacy and reading. So we're more than happy to hear about a brand new initiative being launched by Bright Sparks Primary School, and they're located at Britton's Hill in St. Michael. They want to be a beacon for all students facing reading disabilities or difficulties, and they're proud to announce an expansion of their highly successful free reading program for underserved youth. The principal of the school is Brandon Dowell, and he's sitting in with us now. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on, as a private school, offering a reading program that helps children who otherwise might not have been able to have access to such a program. So take me back to the very beginning and why you decided to take this program in hand.
Okay, so Bright Sparks is a school we specialize in literacy, so we help a lot of students with dyslexia, ADHD, and those type of challenges. What we would notice coming out of COVID-19 is that students were facing even greater challenges with reading and literacy, and we wanted to make an impact because we recognize that literacy is at the foundation of all learning. If you can't read, you essentially can't learn. So we wanted to start an initiative. We got a partner in the Amarone Charitable Trust, and we are targeting underserved youth, students that otherwise can't afford the extra tutoring, and we want to ensure that they are literate so that when they enter classrooms, they are teachable, right?
Let's talk about the structure of the program. Obviously, if we're looking at children, we could be running anywhere from 6 years old. I'm thinking reading, those of reading age that might need a little remedial help, or a little older, all the way up until the late teens. So let's talk about the structure of the program and how you service different children and their various needs.
So at present, we're currently working with the Bay Primary School. And at Bay Primary, what we did is the language teachers, they would have gathered a list of students who are having great difficulties, not necessarily based on age, it's based on level. So what we do is that they select 10 to 15 students, and after school, around 3 p.m., we get our specialists to come in and we educate the students that they have selected.
What has the response been like generally? Because I've found that there are parents who, they don't necessarily want to hear that their children need a little bit of remedial work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think parents have become more realistic in this generation, understanding, yes, my child needs help, and just because my child needs help is not the end of the world. I think that we've recognized that kids can have difficulties and they still can excel and be successful in all walks of life, and it's just a case of at an early age recognizing that these difficulties exist and we need to have a structure to tackle them.
All right, so in 2024 you're looking to expand the program. Are you going to continue on with just the Bay Primary School and the students from that realm, or are you expanding it to include other communities or other schools?
So most definitely we are in talks with Luther Thorne and the Wilkie Commonbatch School. We really want to target schools in St. Michael to start, but in years to come I would love almost every public primary school to have someone from the Bright Sparks School coming in and offering our expertise to help with any remedial reading challenges that the school may be facing.
That's beautiful stuff. Now I understand that coming out of the reading program, you're also embarking on doing a spelling bee. So, you know, that's something that's special to me. I love spelling bees. I love to hear about them. And this will give your students who might have passed through the program, as well as others, a platform to be able to shine. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the spelling bee is going to be held at the end of the reading program, which is going to conclude on December 12th. We have some sponsors who are going to be providing us with prizes such as tablets, laptops. We're not doing any cash prizes, but definitely any prize that's going to be instrumental to the students' learning is going to be, we target about 30 students a term, which is going to, we do 2 terms for the reading program, so that's 60 students. So the spelling bee is going to be amongst those 60 students. It's going to really, the idea is to, you know, give them more encouragement to want to read, and I think that, you know, giving them a reward at the end of the program and something to look forward to is going to be fantastic.
Mr. Dowell, what do you think is the difference in terms of how you approach literacy, how you approach teaching children reading that makes all the difference in their success?
So I don't think we have a special formula, so to speak. I don't think it's that special. I think the formula that we have is, you know, just passionate and loving teachers, people that love what they do, people that are highly trained in what they do, and ensuring that they have the tools to be effective in the classroom. And it's a simple formula, and that has worked for us for the past 8 years.
Wonderful. Are you in a position to say, based on your engagement and your personal experience going into the schools and so on, are you in a position to say why seemingly there's so many children who are, and people will use the term falling through the cracks or being left behind when it comes to even simple things like reading, or what might seem simple?
So I don't think it's a case that the generation before had a better grasp of reading than we do. I think we're just in a generation now where we're able to easily identify the issues, and people are more realistic in saying my child has dyslexia. I think those connotations were kind of feared in the previous generation, and we didn't want to accept those things. But I think dyslexia has always been present, and I think it's just a case where we're realizing now that it's okay if the child has dyslexia, and with time we can work through, and the child will still be effective and successful.
So let's step back a bit and talk about what you do at Bright Sparks and what parents should look for to be able to make a determination as to whether their children do in fact need a little bit more assistance or maybe need some remedial work, and how you can assist with that. Are you open to the general public? Can a parent reach out to you at Bright Sparks and say, hey, I'm experiencing or seeing so-and-so and I'd like to come in?
So I think once you see concern in terms of reading, you should at least get a screening. So screening is different to assessment. We don't do reading assessments, but we can do screening. So screening basically says we believe the child should be tested for dyslexia. We believe the child should be tested for ADHD, but we can't diagnose it, right? But we can evaluate, we can see the signs, and we will do the screening to suggest if you need to go to educational psychologist to take it a little further.
How do we go about doing that? Is it just a matter of a telephone call?
Yeah, so you can give the school a call at 622-1973. We're located on Britton Hill Main Road. You can always drop in anytime after 3 p.m. and we can definitely have a conversation.
That's wonderful news. I know there are a lot of parents out here who want to see their children doing better, but they're not sure exactly what's happening. So this is a great first step to be able to, first of all, find out if your child is in fact experiencing a challenge, and then move to a place where you are truly able to help them. In terms of your work with children who have ADHD or children who have challenges with reading, or even children who have dyslexia, what would you say to parents who are battling through, the ones who know and some who might not, about how they should approach working with their children? For a lot of parents, particularly parents of a certain age, I dare say, it has never been an easy task to kind of sit with their children and do work. There are some parents who are able to do it, but I myself have experienced hearing neighbors going through homework with the children, for example, and I'm sure there are other Barbadians who will attest to the same. It can become quite frustrating.
I think I may come under criticism by making this statement, but every parent is not fit to help their child with homework. Is a reality. I think we as parents need to, again, be very realistic with ourselves and say, when you're getting that type of friction and realizing, I'm constantly explaining and I'm just not the best person to do it, I think, it's time to maybe enroll it with a tutor and let them use their professional expertise to help your student, because you don't want a case where the student is demotivated because it's that constant battle to do homework. I think it's best if you're getting that battle to get some help.
All right, and help comes in the form of the Bright Sparks Primary School. We just want to kind of reinforce and pull together all that we talked about. At least being able to get that screening done that you talked about for any learning challenges that there might be. And then, of course, you are offering the program, you're expanding. So tell parents who might be watching how they can advocate along with you to get one of your able teachers into schools so that we can help our children in a more meaningful way.
So at this point, it's more a case of us securing more sponsors, more partnerships, so that we can get the funding to allocate our specialists to each school. So that's something we're working on. There are a lot of corporate entities which are more than interested in helping us along. It's just a case of getting some paperwork sorted out. So what parents can do is, if they're seeing challenges and they're not at any of the schools we're tackling them currently, they can always give us a call. We're always willing to work with a parent in need. Again, give us a call at 622-1973. or you could recommend other parents that you see having difficulties to give us that call. And there's something we can do to help at all times.
All right, beautiful stuff. Principal of Bright Sparks Primary School, Brandon Dowell.
Yeah.
Putting a P where D should be.
That's fine.
The irony. All right, so Brandon Dowell sitting in with us today to share a little bit more about how they're working with students all across the island and the level of support that they need to be able to make it available to a lot more students. So we're going to take a break and come back to wrap up today's presentation. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning to you.
Every day at 7 p.m., we bring you a comprehensive news package because keeping you informed is our #1 priority. Whether it's local, regional, or international stories, our commitment is to you and keeping you reliably informed. Join us every day at 7 p.m. for CBC Newsnight.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
There are some things that make mornings even better. And one of those things is Morning Barbados. You'll step into your day informed, inspired, and entertained. Tune in to CBC TV 8 Monday to Friday from 6:30 to 8 a.m. for Morning Barbados. Your morning must-have.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning Barbados is on the move, and we're coming to you every weekday morning from right here at the Standard Showroom in Wildey. Now, together, we're giving you an opportunity to win. All you have to do is submit a photo of that room that you want to see changed in a fantastic way. And the interior design curator here at Standard and all of their experts are going to get together and select the room that needs the most work. It just might be yours. All you have to do is submit your photo to info@standard.bb, and you could be here with us saying, "Morning Barbados, look at my beautiful space."
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so that's it from us from right here in Wildey, just outside of Standard as the traffic goes by. And I'm seeing so many people out and about. It's wonderful to be out and sharing with you as Morning Barbados continues to be on the move. Well, we will be right back here tomorrow morning. We invite you to join us because we're going to have conversations on CARICOM. Ambassador Commercial is going to be in. Also, Ambassador Aquinas Clark is talking to us about South-to-South relationships, how we are teaming up with Latin America to be able to make trade and development happen across the territories. Plus, it's Disability Awareness Month, so Barnard will be in to share with us. And we are also going to have a little bit of a social media buzz for you. That's all coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados, so join us then.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good